There is no doubt that the rivalry between Kimberly High School and Kaukauna High School is alive and well. But in one-of-a-kind fashion, sportsmanship brought both sides together. How a small step towards success ended up being a giant leap in Kaukauna history.
Track and field's not a sport. Everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna go watch the track meet.
For Kaukauna senior Danny Poor II, track has always been with him since his 6th grade.
Track's taught me a lot of toughness and heart. You gotta give it your all.
Now in his last season on varsity, his team is on a historic finish, one that featured an unthinkable circumstance, competing for the conference title on May 13th.
There is a whole lot of stuff that kind of happened. One of the weirder endings to a track meet that I've been through.
Felt like we could win the meet.
Kaukauna was neck and neck all the way through against bitter rival Kimberly High School.
We had a lot of doubters saying that we'd never beat them, and that it would never really be a rivalry if we never won.
Parker Shue is a Kaukauna junior. Both he and Danny describe what happened next.
They said all the teams prior to us, and they said us and Kimberly tied for the first place trophy.
Of course, only one team could bring home the trophy that night. The other one had to wait for another one to be shipped. A coin flip for the trophy was then made.
We won the coin flip. They gave us the trophy, and right when we got the trophy, someone alerted the person handing us the trophy that we actually, the scores weren't right.
Then came disappointment for Kaukauna.
So we were actually down half a point to Kimberly. So they took the trophy out of one of our runners' hands and gave it to Kimberly.
Doing all that hard work the whole season, working hard every practice, doing all of our workouts, and then coming to the meet and figuring out we lost by half a point, like that's just heartbreaking.
It was one of the ickiest feeling wins I think I've ever experienced.
Kimberly track and field head coach Steve Paskey said winning the trophy made him question if the scoring was correct.
When I got home, I did some internet research, and sure enough, it looked like every other WIA meet. They broke the tiebreaker differently.
The following morning, Coach Paskey sent Kaukauna track and field head coach Gatlin Bebo an email in which Paskey told him,
"You know, I'm not sure, but I think you guys might have won the meet, so you probably should appeal."
And how track and field works is, you know, there are no ties unless the following or preceding jumps are exactly the same. And so instead of that shared points that actually bumped one of their guys and another school's athlete down, bumping us up 2 points.
Coach Bebo and his staff then called the team in for a meeting.
Tensions were building a little bit. We were definitely like, oh, what's in that backpack that he has there?
That backpack contained the championship plaque, marking the first time the Kaukauna boys team won the conference in school history.
That's a lot of the heart that Kimberly coach had to do that, because he didn't have to be honest.
Coach Paskey used to serve as assistant principal at Riverview Middle School in Kaukauna and says he knows a lot of the athletes competing against his team.
I think people need to remember in all these situations is whether they live 4 miles down the road or in your district boundaries, they're kids. And we want what's best for them, whatever uniform they're wearing, whatever school they go to.
The message of sportsmanship brought together a historic rivalry and created an unforgettable story for both communities.
It's not always they're the enemy type sport. You know, we're in this kind of together to see special stuff happen in the sport of track and field.
This rivalry has made us into some of the best competitors in the state. We're going to be the team that future teams look back to, and the team they want to be.
I also spoke with Kaukauna standout Jordan McCabe, who is now part of the UWGB basketball staff. He knows a lot about the rivalry and its impact on the community.
You weren't really supposed to wear red to school, like, ever. And if it was red, it better be like a Badger shirt or something like that. And even that was kind of frowned upon in Kaukauna. That rivalry, it runs pretty deep, but it's always a lot of fun. I mean, when you drum up that much support from a community and they lean into it like they do, it's awesome.
The Kaukauna girls varsity track and field team also made history by winning its first conference championship since 1987. Now both teams look to extend their historic run as regionals start on Monday. For Youth Sports Beyond the Score, I'm Andrew Amuzu, NBC 26.